Are we? Yeah, there we go. All right, we're live. There we go. All right.
Over the two generals commanding Russian forces in Ukraine who have not been seen in public since last weekend's rebellion. President Vladimir Putin has been making public appearances, reasserting control after the Wagner Group's private army briefly threatened Moscow on Saturday. Ian Lee talked with the Ukrainian president's national security advisor in his first interview since the uprising.
Adoring supporters greeted President Vladimir Putin in southern Russia yesterday, the Kremlin projecting a leader who's popular and in control. But questions remain surrounding the mercenary boss Yevgeny Prigozhin's failed insurrection last weekend. CBS News has learned the U.S. has intelligence that a senior Russian general had advanced knowledge of the mutiny, raising the possibility that the Wagner leader believed he had support from within the Russian military. The Kremlin said yesterday these allegations are speculation and gossip. But in Kyiv, Ukraine's national security chief Alexei Danilov claimed Prigozhin was in league with not one, but 14 senior Russian military officers.
Prigozhin does have support in the highest ranks of the Russian military.
Prigozhin is not an independent person. He is owned by high-ranking people in President Putin's inner circle.
One senior general widely reported to be involved is Sergei Sorovikin, who hasn't been seen since telling mutineers to return to base.
Was he one of the generals that took part in this mutiny?
Do you want me to name them all?
Yes.
I can't.
Many analysts say President Putin has been weakened by this revolt, and Danilov believes he may face another attempted uprising.
Even if he executes the generals who had some sort of part in the mutiny, this will not affect the outcome. The wheels are in motion for Putin's demise.
Danilov also believes the failed mutiny and chaos in Russia will eventually benefit Ukraine in the war against Russia. For CBS Mornings, Ian Lee in Kyiv, Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah. Got a bunch of planes up and over the European countryside. Think it is raining. Or just very windy. Well, we have planes, a lot of planes up over the U.S., which is, we've seen before, is quite normal, as I said that yesterday. And we got a second day now where we have the Q4 up out here. Oh, it is certainly raining. Holy shit, yeah, it's raining a lot in Denmark. Caroline Waskanaki, the tennis player, she's a tennis player. Moved up today. Made a comeback. It's good. Didn't really read much into it. Just saw it. And there also has been a plane crash in. This one's checking around out here, doing what it's doing. Oh, we got another drone up over here, United Kingdom, doing circles around that. I haven't seen that before, but I guess most of it is. But they were also circling around here with a P8 yesterday, which was something. That's stop hunters, so they could still be looking for something, or just staying alert. The plane, I don't know what plane that was. I can just find a source on my phone actually, and I will do that for you. Grand Slam gives she has a very unique name. Wasakanari. Wasakanari. Wildcard. She's Danish, but it's a very unique name. Oh, that's something. Demonstrators stormed a Swedish embassy in Iraq. Oh. From the defenseman. Police is massively there. They are at the scene of the action. A smaller propeller plane has crashed near between Viborg and Hospital. That is the statement from the Mid and West Jylland police on Twitter. They're taking care of the situation, and there's not reported of any casualties. We're talking about a school flying, so that must have something gone wrong. It was a teaching plane, a T-17. Not any casualties, it appears. These things actually right here, and the funny thing about these things is they're also the ones that they're using the Danish pilots in America to actually fly around and to learn how to fly when they're going to be learning to fly F-35s, because we're getting some F-35s to Denmark, but this thing is a typical training plane. You can't see that, I'm sorry. This thing right here, that's a T-17. Very commonly used for training as well, and apparently it was crashed. School plane crashed into a field. No, unaware if anybody says that there was any casualties. There's 2 that's been hurt. And they do not have anything else right now, so they haven't told us if. They're also asking citizens to stay away from the area. They haven't told anything about anything at the moment, but it looks to be pretty much a substantial amount of people at the area. It's in the middle of a field. They're tending to some wounded, it appears. I can't really see what a plane is. May have already gotten that out of there. I don't know if they have or not, but oh wait, that's it might yeah, it's there. They were taking the people out, and I don't think there's any casualties, so let's pray for that. Let's pray that there wasn't any casualties. That would be a shame to lose some new pilots, people who are learning, and just general people. Well, that's not good. So stuff going on. Good and bad. We got 2 bad things right here. We got demonstrators inside the it's not hard to see what they're demonstrating. burning up the flag outside the Swedish embassy. Can we actually get to know what it's saying? Do you have any comments on it? Is there anybody who's commenting anything? Shouting something, we don't know what they're shouting. Iraq's protests outside regional museum in Iraq. Day after Iraq says that women in Sweden stomped on the Quran and set several pages alight on front of Stockholm. Iraq protested outside the Swedish after a day after an Iraq citizen living in Sweden. I thought they were going to talk about spelling, but that's not exactly the same. Stomped on the Quran and several pages in front of the Stockholm largest mosque, which is a this is also something else. That's the guy I was talking about. I fucking hate that guy. He's Danish. He's a fucking Nazi, but whatever, you know. That's been going on. And this is the guy. Oh, that's what I've been seeing. Okay. So
according to an India Today report, a man tore up and burned a Quran outside Stockholm's central mosque on Wednesday. An event that risks angering Turkey as Sweden bids to join NATO after Swedish police granted permission for the protest to take place. Police later charged the man with agitation against an ethnic or national group. A series of demonstrations in Sweden against Islam and for Kurdish rights have offended Ankara, whose backing Sweden needs to gain entry to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Sweden sought NATO membership in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine last year. But alliance member Turkey has held up the process, accusing Sweden of harboring people it considers terrorists and demanding their extradition. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan condemned the act in a tweet, adding that it was unacceptable to allow anti-Islam protest in the name of freedom of expression. Burning religious text is disrespectful and hurtful, the deputy spokesperson for the US State Department told reporters in a daily briefing. What might be legal is certainly not necessarily appropriate, Vedant Patel said. But he continued to urge Turkey and Hungary to ratify Sweden's NATO accession protocol without delay. We believe Sweden has fulfilled its commitments under the trilateral memorandum. Some 200 onlookers witnessed one of the two protesters tearing up pages of a copy of the Quran and wiping his shoes with it before putting bacon on it and setting the book on fire, while the other spoke into a megaphone. Some of those present shouted Allahu Akbar in Arabic to protest against the burning, and one man was detained by police after he attempted to throw a rock. A supporter of the protest shouted, "Let it burn," as the holy book caught fire. While Swedish police have rejected several recent applications for anti-Quran demonstrations, courts have overruled those decisions, saying they infringed on freedom of speech. Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson told a press conference on Wednesday he would not speculate about how the protests could affect Sweden's NATO process. "It's legal but not appropriate," he said, adding that it was up to the police to make decisions on Quran burnings. That's it for this report. For more such news and updates, subscribe to HW News English.
A provocative act that risks further damaging Sweden's chances of joining NATO. This protester filmed outside Stockholm's central mosque held up a Quran only to tear up its pages, wipe his shoes with it, and light it on fire. That man has now been charged by police with agitation against an ethnic or national group, but allowing such an inflammatory protest has prompted a strong reaction from Turkey's foreign minister, who called the act despicable.
It is unacceptable to allow these anti-Islamic actions under the pretext of freedom of expression. Turning a blind eye to such atrocious acts is to be complicit.
Turkey's position is important because it's been obstructing Sweden's accession to NATO. Turkey blames what it perceives as Stockholm's failure to crack down on Kurdish groups it considers terrorists and a different Quran-burning incident outside its embassy back in January. Sweden and Finland both formally applied to join after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Finland was finally admitted in April, but Turkey, together with Hungary, continues to stall Sweden's bid. NATO's been pushing Ankara to give Sweden the green light before an alliance summit in Lithuania starting on the 11th of July.
I have called another meeting of senior officials from Turkey, Finland and Sweden next Thursday in Brussels. The time is now to welcome Sweden as a full member of NATO.
Earlier this month, Turkey's president said that Sweden had made some progress, but not enough. It came after Sweden agreed to extradite a supporter of the outlawed Kurdistan Workers' Party, or PKK, to Turkey. The decision to authorise a Quran-burning protest is now another dent to Swedish-Turkish relations.
Crazy. Is that a skit? Oh yeah, Shark Tank, that's a skit. What the fuck? Well, that seems to be the news. I might just take a break here. I've been streaming pretty much non-stop. Gotta eat, you know. Man's gotta eat. So with that, got some news up. This one's probably gonna go on YouTube because it's not over 12 hours. So you can see this on YouTube. With the news back up now, we covered what's pretty much going on. This is what's going on. So let's break it down to you. There's a protest in Iraq against the, well, there was protest, and it's still going on. There might still be going on in Iraq against outside the Swedish embassy in Baghdad after a burning of a Quran in Sweden by a Iraqi citizen, not the Danish citizen, which we don't claim him as a Danish citizen. He's a fucking idiot. Just that's my opinion, and I'm entitled. I think most people would agree with me on that one. Most people in Denmark agree with me on that one. About 99%, 99.99999. But you know, yeah, that's it pretty much for now. We're gonna be talking about other things later. See what's going on. I'm gonna be coming back soon. We've also been covering the Canadian wildfire, which has been getting worse. And I'm now back inside. Pull that up for you. I'm now back inside New York, and it's getting considerably worse over the has been getting considerably worse over these past few days. Some unhealthy risk of air level in train at the moment, but that's, you know, it's like these things happen, you know. It's weird what's going on there. Figure out probably some fire as well, but you can easily see where the smoke is actually moving. You know, it's moving like this and then out, but this whole area right here, and it's when these things, when you go unhealthy and they go above 200, you're gonna get, if that happens for an hour, you're gonna get a notification on your phone that says stay inside or be cautious or don't, you know, only go out when necessary, which limits people's ability to even have a normal life, which sucks. So I hope they're bickering about who it is, who does what, and just put the damn fires out so people can resume their lives, because this is ruining livelihood. This is literally ruining people's life. And here we got hazardous, which is really bad. This is a residential area right here as well. All from the fire situation, air particles. You know, you recommend to wear a mask. I don't know how much that's going to do you when you're looking at all this. The least bad ones are 160 is just the lowest ones I can see. And that's still very unhealthy for you to be inhaling at a larger amount of time. Then we got very unhealthy, and we got hazardous, which is extremely unhealthy to be inhaling. So things are looking bad, things are going bad, and we are seeing this every single day. And this is Canada as well right here. So the USA right now has the worst air quality to put together in the world right now. I mean, unless you look at Kurdistan or you know, down here where they do a lot of the oil mining, yeah, it's still worse. I mean, look at that. Fucking, you're gonna die living there. Well, that's up to them if they want to kill themselves breathing air. Same happens in China. China looks like this on a regular basis, but the funny thing is, you know, America actually looks like this on a regular basis. Some areas may have unhealthy sensitive groups, but that's pretty standard for many places. You know, I mean, unless you look over here in these places where it's like, oh, it's great as ever, you know. Some increase in these areas, that suggests some smoke is getting in and over to Europe, but it doesn't look to be affecting it too bad. We also have some hazards going on here. I think they're usually, yeah, that's pretty much there usually. Well, I'll leave you with that. Leave you to look at that. Because that's pretty much what's been going on. Yeah, so znpp stable as of now. Some water has been leaking out. They're still talking about water going out. Things are not good about that, but yeah, stay safe, you know, and make sure you do wear your mask, and babies, and make sure that you keep your windows closed. If you can, invest in air purifiers. Those should help out. Maybe 2 or 1, and put them in an area that could, you know, sort of suck it all up. Or if you have a baby, it would be a good idea to buy an air purifier that you could put inside your their room, and ensure that they are getting the freshest amount of air that they can get, because they are the ones that's most at risk when we're talking about this situation right now. You can tolerate it. It's not healthy for you, but you can survive it. Babies can't, you know, and well, you know, as I said, they can, obviously, but it's very unhealthy, and it could cause problems very early on, which you don't want. So, you know, at the moment right now, I want to keep. You should invest in air purifiers. You can get some very cheap, and ensure that you put those in baby's room. Keep the window in your baby's room closed. Maybe even tape it up, and make sure that that's what you're